Hi guys, welcome to the Couch Crocheter, episode 24, Finished Objects. And I have quite a few because it's been a bit since I've put on a finished object video. Hi guys, and welcome back. This is Couch Crocheter, episode 24, Finished Objects. I'm going to bust out my book and go over what I've been working on for, I think, the last 2 weeks. I think the last one that I posted, last video that I posted about finished objects was way before I even went to New York. And then that whole almost week and something of video posting was all about my trip to New York. So I'm a little bit behind on works in progress and finished objects. So the good news is that I have a lot of finished objects to show you. The maybe not so good news is that I really don't have a lot going on for works in progress. Now I have a lot of things that I need to start, but that's a whole nother video. Guys, the first object that I finished, and I'll insert a picture here of it on the back of the couch so you can see it all laid out, is going to be this beaut. So it's a scarf. And the yarn that I used was Scarfy yarn by Lion Brand. It is a bulky number 5. It did have 312 yards in it. The colorway was black and purple. I did end up using one full skein of it. The material fiber is 78% acrylic and 22% wool. I did use a K hook or 6.5 millimeter. And the pattern that I got it from was Hooked by Robin here on YouTube. And it is called the Crochet Picasso Yarn Scarf Block Stitch. And I'll add her link below to the pattern that I followed in order to do this. Now, there was another thing that I made from the same block stitch that she showed me how to do, but I forgot it at home, so I guess I'll have to show you that on the next finished objects video. So that's that one. The next one in my trusty busty book is these guys here. So this pattern is a Jayda InStitches. I was scrolling through to find out what I could do with like one little skein of cotton yarn that I'd gotten from Macari, that mystery box cotton yarn. So there was a few of them in there that, you know, had one skein in it, and it didn't match with anything else. And I didn't think I would use it for the crochet along that I'm doing from a Pamela's During a Crochet. About the tea towel holders. So I thought, you know, I needed to use up some of that cotton, and I was in the mood for a smaller project. So this one is from Jayda InStitches, and it's the water bottle holder. I ended up using an H hook. Some of it's just yarn. Some of it is peaches and cream. And some of it is lilies and cream, which I think is by the same. They're practically the same. So first there's this one. And I'll show you, insert a picture here with them, again, laid out on the back of the couch so you can see them in a little more closer detail. So I got this one all made. Now this one has a shorter strap, so you can just put it over your shoulder. Then I got one yellow one. Now I ran out of yarn, so I didn't sew him back in because I thought I had more yellow up on my shelf, but I can't seem to locate it. So he's going to be another handler, or put around your belt, or put on one of those cliff secure hook thingers. I don't know what they're called, but you probably know what I'm talking about. So I do have to sew him on yet. So technically this isn't a finished object. Okay, so the next one's going to be this one. And I'm kind of adoring this one because I did not work it this way. You start out down here with magic ring and you go round and round and round, and then you do the classic V-stitch. But this one, the way that I started doing the V-stitch, it naturally made these elongated stripes throughout, which I just thought was awesome. So I think this one so far is my favorite because of this self-striping. And I don't think the yarn that I used was actually self-striping. I think it just happened to turn out this way. So that's a bonus. There's that one. And then there is one gray that I had left over from the pot holder. So this one's just straight gray with a big long handle. And then we have this green one with an extra long handle that I had some left over from, and I still have more of this color, and I have a ton of gray left. There's like, I don't know, like there's a lot of gray up there. I think there's not many left of these. The gray in this one all came from a Dollar Tree haul. We had to buy like 6 of them in order to, or like 12 of them. I think I had to buy 12 of each color in order to, like, you know, get the price. So I ended up getting like 12 of these ones. So that's it for the water bottle holders. So next on the list is now these little guys. Now, I did not follow a pattern for these ones. Again, it was left over, and every one of these is left over from one of the pot holder, or not pot holder, tea towel slash hot pad project that I'm doing, crochet along that I'm doing. So these all were just left over from the actual skeins that I already opened, that I had balls of. So I made these guys. So they, none of my ends are tucked in yet. Like, I powered through these last night while I was at work. So what they are is they're little cozies for your cast iron pan holder. So what I did is I just did a magic ring and I put 5 in there and then double crocheted into those 5, which then made 10. And then I just kept on going until it was, I thought, long enough to fit the handle of a cast iron pan. So I have one in the Easter color that I made for Easter pot holder. I have more of one in this green that I will go over those because I don't think I'm going to use them for June. Even though I worked on it for the crochet along, I don't think I'm going to use them, but here's more of that green that was left over. Here's a little bit of green with this blue that I don't even know where this came from. It's just a scrap. I have 2 blues, and again, I don't remember what project these came from. A gray came from the leftover gray from Maze crochet along. And then 2 reds that were left over from February's. So I got some of those done, and I'm just going to stockpile these, give them away as random gifts, put them in a basket at a craft show, and that's how I'm going to be using up the smaller scraps for my cotton, which I thought was a great idea. Because, you know, you don't want too many small things of cotton because, you know, you need something to do with them. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to show you, I don't have in my trusty busty book, but I did end up for January's, the crochet along the January's, I did the dish soap dress by Crystal from Bag O' Day. I don't remember what the number was, and it's not written up on the board. Actually, it says no number up on my board up here. So I ended up finishing 2 of those, because I needed 2 more, and now I have a complete 4 of them. Now, this one didn't turn out exactly. I ran out of the blue yarn. I didn't think I had enough to do this side blue and that side blue. So I just chose to continue on and end it in blue. So these ones don't match, but it's okay because they're going to be in 2 different boxes. So I don't think people are even going to realize that they don't match. And then I needed 2 more. I think I actually need 1 more of these. I have to check. I think I only had 1 of these done. And this is the towel topper from Nazazia's towel topper, How to Crochet Towel Topper with Hidden Ring. And here's the hidden ring on the inside that you put your towel topper, or you put your tea towel through. So I have 2 more of those, and I know I still have to tuck in my ends. But I think I have 1 more of these to do. I'm gonna have to check, because I really want to call that whole block for January complete. Okay, so the next item in my trusty busty book is going to be oh no, I did not write down the person whose pattern I did this from. So I'm sorry about that. I will just insert a link, like I'm going to with everything that I'm showing you guys today, down below of whose pattern I followed. I wrote down everything else except the person that I got the pattern from. So this is Barnat Velvet. And the reason that I originally bought this Barnat Velvet is because I got asked by somebody to make them 3 Sesame Street yips. So I went shopping. I did print out the pattern. And I wrote everything I needed down on a sticky. And I took the sticky with me to the store. And I went in and I found this. And most of the ones that I did see were kind of like, you know, crushed velvet textured. There was a few patterns that I saw, or not patterns that I saw, a few pictures that I saw where people used blankie yarn. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go with the velvet textured. So I'm in the store and I pick out, they wanted a blue one, a green one, and a purple one. So I pick out the yarn and I come home and I make a yip, and he's too small and he does not look like a yip, and he looks like a yip, but he's not the size of a yip. So I went back and reread the pattern because that I was following it. So I go back to page 1 and I'm like, you know, why is this guy so small? And I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, you know, these things look so much bigger and I don't know where I went wrong. So I look at the pattern and I look again and I have the sticky still that when I bought the yarn, because I stuck it back on the pattern, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, you know, that's right. I was supposed to get a number 5, and I read the pattern and I was supposed to get a number 6. So I got the wrong yarn. So let me just show you first. Well, let me show you that what started this little rant about me, you know, not doing something right again and buying the wrong yarn weight that I needed for this project of the yip. So what I decided was I was going to do the happy sad octopuses. So here's one of the blue ones, and you know, again, my ends. And then I have 2 blue ones and then a 3rd blue one. So, so it's Yarn Inspirations, Barnat Velvet. I wrote down because it was a scrap, because I thought the original yip that I did, which is this green. So I have 1 green, 2 green, and then 3 green. So this green is called Pagoda, and this blue is called Navy. Now I'm calling these finished objects because they're finished as a single thing, but they still have to be put together. And I still have the purple ones to make because I didn't get there yet. So they're going to be put together, and then one side, which is going to be that side, is going to be the sad side, and then this side, which is the blue side, is going to be the happy side. So you'll be able to switch them out. So you'll see these again once they're all put together. And I bought the felt for the eyeballs because that's what the pattern said to buy. So I used a K hook, and this yarn is 100% polyester. And it's just called the Happy Sad Octopus. Again, I will link down below where I got the pattern from on YouTube, because I didn't write that down in my trusty busty book, which is only as trusty busty as apparently I am, because I didn't fill it out correctly. Silly. So here, which is the next page, I believe. Oh my gosh, I didn't write him down either. I'll link it down below. I think there is only one pattern out there. If you go to YouTube and you type in crochet pattern for yip yip, this is the one that comes up. Now guys, don't laugh at my yip yip. He's just a little shorter than the average yip yip. But here he is. And I'm also noticing, so I did cut out a piece of cardboard that I'm going to stitch in here. And I think I'm just gonna hang this little failure in headquarters here somewhere. I did buy pipe cleaners for his antennae. I have not purchased ping pong balls yet for his eyes. But here he is in all of his mistakey glory. And I think I'm actually going to take a couple of pipe cleaners and put it through like either side, like right around here maybe, just for it to have a little bit of support so it could stand up. I don't know what I'm going to use him for, but he is my rejected yip yip. See how he doesn't quite sit straight either, so I don't know how I'm going to correct that. I guess with thicker yarn and the same size hook that I followed in the pattern, this will be a lot more stiff, because I did end up then purchasing the correct colors in the Barnett Blanky yarn. So I think with a little bit of surgery for my yip yip, he might actually resemble a yip 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 yip. Okay, that's enough. So the next thing that I have that I said I don't think I'm going to use for June's crochet along with Pamela's Adoring Crochet for 2021 tea towel crochet along is these guys. So I did make this out of that green yarn that I spoke of earlier and just did a white border. It is the lemon peel stitch. And I believe that I originally learned the lemon peel stitch from Creative Grandma, Glenda, and I'll link that video down below. So I did these as the hot pads, but I don't know if I'm going to use them. I just don't know if I think they're fancy enough. I'll insert a picture of here of what they look like. One of them looks like on the back of the couch because they're all matching. I just don't know if they're fancy enough. So I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. I'll decide. I am going to take home that one book that I showed you guys not that long ago of the, I think it was 25 different granny square, or no, 25 different dishcloths. Yeah, 25 different dishcloths. I'm going to take that home with me with some cotton and page through it and see if anything jumps out at me that I might want to not use these for June, because I already have May done. Yeah, June. And I might find something else and then just use these as like, you know, my own personal stash of hot pads. So those are that. And then the last thing I have with me that is a finished object is this beautiful thing. And I will insert a picture of it on the couch right here. So this is Bag O'Day's, what's it called? Crochet Pocket Shawl number 712. I did end up using two Karen Big Cakes. The colorway was Cranberry Crisp. Each skein or each cake that I used had 603 yards. So I don't think I quite used two of them. I think I used 1.5, because I'm going to say about 1.5, because I wound it up and I still have a ball left over about yay big. Now, usually when you wind up those in balls, they're like, you know, yay big. This one's like yay big. So I'm going to say 1.5. I did end up using a J size hook, just like Crystal recommended. And this material, or this yarn, is 100% acrylic. Now, the only thing I didn't add that she added down at the bottom was the fringe. And I don't know if I'm necessarily going to add the fringe or not. Not because I don't like fringe. I do like fringe. I just kind of want this pattern and this to speak for itself. And the way that I put it on, it kind of comes right below like where my pockets on my pants would be. So I think that that's long enough, and I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to add the fringe. I do love this pattern. It worked up super, super, super easy. It is a one row repeat until you get to here, and then she has you change it up just for a little bit more added texture and for your collar, so you can like tuck it in if you need to and it be nice and cozy, or just lay it flat also if you need to. But both ends do have a pocket, which I think they were nice big pockets. I love the way she designed it. It was a very, very easy, once you got the pattern down, mindless workup. Like I just kept going and going and going. And then before you know it, I actually went two more rows than I needed to. And it just ended up being way too wide once I figured out that this border of it was a little bit more bulky, a little bit more textured. So I had to go back and rip it out after I made the first one, the first row of the border. I was like, no, I'm like, that's just going to be way too big. So I ended up ripping it out. So that's how easy it was to work up. Like it went so fast, so fast. And I love it. And I can't wait to do it again, because it was such an awesome pattern to follow. It was very easy. I think it's beautiful. And it's multi-purpose. So guys, that is all that I have, I believe. Yep, and I have nothing else in my book. That's all that I have as far as finished objects. Again, I'll leave everyone's link down in the description below. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share this video if you would. Thanks for stopping by. Be safe. Have a great day, guys. Stay groovy. Bye.